Okay, have you written a pros and cons list of having sex with yourself?
Like to give to people, like here are the pros and cons of having
Yes.
sex with me.
Yes.
I haven't, but I haven't considered that yet. But now that I know it's a thing, I'm going to start working on it. So,
Well, it is, and everyone's favorite investment guru, Sam Bankman-Fried from FTX, sent Carolyn Allison, the his co-accused slash girlfriend, I guess, or slash orgy partner, a pros and cons list of having sex with him.
Okay.
Which really heats up the romance.
I mean, you know, it seems a little bit needy, but okay.
I don't know. I think it's good to get to the point, and I think it's nice in every relationship to. You know what would actually be hilarious is going to I don't know, a red light district in a foreign country with a printed out copy of the pros and cons list and handing it to people on the street who were asking you for their services, and you have a pros and cons list. Pro, you get money. Con, you have to smell me.
That is probably not what you should put on the list, but I'm sure it's up there. But I mean,
I don't know. You gotta be honest.
Have some Bankman-Fried's lists? Do we have details on what it is? I want to know what his cons are. Just fucking stupid haircut.
He did say, in a lot of ways, I don't really have a soul. There's a pretty decent argument that my empathy is fake, my feelings are fake, my facial reactions are fake. I don't feel happiness. What's the point in dating someone who you physically can't make happy? Which is, again, a great thing to imagine. And it would actually be fun to actually print out a thing like this and then hand it to people that when they're like, "Hi, sir, do you want anything?" Well, do you want it? Because here's my pros and cons list.
I mean, I just can't. I mean, I thought it would be more like, you know, well, I'm very enthusiastic, but I don't have good skills or good rhythm or whatever. But no, it's like it's more philosophical than that. So I'm kind of surprised.
It also, the list included concerns about power dynamics in their relationship. Because she was working in the company, along with his lack of empathy and his history of getting bored and claustrophobic. I do feel like it would be fun to just make up a list for that purpose and just be like, pros, money. And all you have on the pros side is money. And then the cons side.
You should have stuff like pros. My favorite Starburst is orange, so you can have red ones. Or something. Just some random shit like
pros won't last long.
Also con won't last long.
No, but I mean, if they're doing if you're hiring services, it's not like
pro won't ask for a receipt. Con, gonna be difficult to explain to my expenses credit card.
No, but that's for you, not for.
I mean, you know, still.
It's not about you. It's about them.
It's all about me also. That's another con.
Selfish. Con, will not stop talking about it.
Con, we'll make a list about this experience.
I don't know why that I was gonna say Con will force you to speak to my mother afterwards, but then
Not again.
It then does bring up, like, imagine doing that and then you get an actor to play your mother and and say that, like, I don't earn any money. My parents pay for everything. So I need to get my mom's approval for this expense. So can you pretend that you're
Wow. Yeah, that would be interesting.
I'm definitely writing that down. Telling a lady of the evening, my mother pays for all my expenses. And so I need to video call her and ask permission and get her to explain that her services are necessary. With no context, so they have to either figure out, are they going to tell the truth and say what they're going to be doing, or do they need to make up? And while he's explaining this, already hitting dial on the video call, and then
yeah,
I feel like that would be a godly video.
I think it'd be pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like you don't accidentally video call your actual mom. Hey, mom. Need you to answer.
Meet my new friend. Oh, that would be, yeah. Now, in a shorter list entitled Arguments in Favor, he said that the pair shared interests. He enjoyed talking with her and listed, "I really like fucking you," twice.
I mean, if ever there was a romantic thing to put on such a list, that is it.
I almost feel like for the other one, the cons should have, "I really don't like fucking you."
There was that one time it was awful. So you should take all the responsibility for that. But yeah, a pro being "I really liked it" or "I really like it" is not really a pro for the other person, though. I don't think, unless they're.
They might be if they enjoy.
Yeah. I mean, there's no real. To me, there's no real like, "Hey, this is going to be a good thing for you." So also, everyone knows Sam Bankman-Fried likes fucking people. He didn't have to put it on a list because he fucked everybody. So, you know.
Well, he did have to, because he sent the memo, as all romantic relationships heat up. You send memos. In response to a 4-page message from her in 2018, in which she said her feelings for him consume a ton of her brain space.
I mean, so romantic and such a love story right here. So
yeah,
he's like, my response to that is, here's the pros and cons of us having sex. What do you think? With your brain space.
Yes. I mean, it's just true love.
If there was more reasons needed for that guy to be tortured the rest of his life, this list is probably added to it. Yeah, for sure. Anyway.
Yeah, it's it's sad that their love did not progress.
You know, they had plans with all the money they were stealing, but unfortunately they got caught.
Yeah. I mean, it's also when he says, in a lot of ways, I don't really have a soul.
Yeah, which would indicate that in some ways he does have a soul, just not in all the ways. So, okay, sir, whatever that means.
Yeah, it's true love. But yeah, I think it's time you start writing your pros and cons.
I will. We'll take time.
And then just hand it to everyone.
Pros. I will enjoy it. Cons. None. For me.
But then like take it everywhere, even like when you go to McDonald's. the exact same pros and cons as to why they should serve you at McDonald's. Because it's important.
Absolutely. Sounds like the right thing to do. So yeah.
Now what is too far in a relationship?
I mean, I don't know. Depends on the specific boundaries of the other person, I would guess. But yeah, it could be something far out. It could be something quite simple. I don't know.
Okay, well, what about a man who refuses to flush because he asks his wife to see if its size and color is the same each day?
I feel like you need to have a discussion about that. Yeah, for sure. Definitely needs to open up a dialogue and change his flushing behavior. He could take a photograph and then flush it at the same time. So, get the same idea. But yeah, I think you're going to have to.
Well,
admit.
She says that she's not a doctor, and it doesn't matter because she won't even look at it. The moment she enters, she flushes the toilet.
As I think would be reasonable to do.
This should actually go on a con. I don't flush the toilet, so you will.
Bro, I trust your assessment of my bowel movements. So there you go. You want respect? You got it, baby.
Imagine handing to a lady of the evening a document that says that you don't flush the toilet. So whenever the last time your hotel room was cleaned, it might have been flushed, but
yes,
there are
indeed.
several days of build up in there.
Oh man. Just go back to my hotel room, but it's not what you think. Just need someone to flush the toilet for me after inspecting the
I need someone to inspect my week of bathroom activities.
And I've been on the spicy food this week, so it's been
a big week of drinking.
Yeah. Guinness has an effect on you, you drink enough of it. So
especially when combined with baked beans and
yeah. Let's just hope that never is a thing we have to do in our lives for somebody else.
But it is going to be on the cons list. It could be a pro though if you're into that.
Depends.
That should
Yeah,
be in brackets.
There are people who dig that. So
yeah, that's the brackets part. If you're into it, this could be a dream come true.
If you're not, so
it's a risk you're gonna have to take.
Yeah.
When do you plan to retire?
My plan to retire was like 5 years ago, but here we are, and that hasn't happened. Yeah, I don't know, like in my 60s, maybe, perhaps. Sometimes depends,
Well, a 90-year-old employee at McDonald's in Japan says she plans to work until she's 100.
Yeah, that's not me. So I feel like there's not enough Happy Meal fucking vouchers I can get to keep me working until I'm 100. So
She was a teenager during World War II, to put it into perspective. She only just missed out on serving, but was not far off.
And I mean, somebody who's been who lived through World War II shouldn't be working in McDonald's until they're 100. I feel like they've been through enough of life. So
she was actually forced to retire from her job at a hospital.
Okay.
30 years ago.
Nice. Yeah. Okay.
And then is still working at McDonald's. She applied to work for McDonald's in 2000 after learning about the company's lack of age restrictions.
Okay.
Now, her daughter died at the age of 58 12 years ago.
Yep. There you go. Yeah. And she's cranking out Happy Meals and Big Macs until she's 100.
Yeah, I feel like we should go there and visit her.
I feel like that would be. We visited the oldest McDonald's worker in the world, gave her pros and cons list. And yeah, that would be a fun.
I ordered a Happy Meal off the oldest McDonald's worker in the world.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes you might just be a little bit too old. Sometimes you might be a little bit too creepy. And this next story, parents called their son a creep. Do you want to guess what he did?
Did he set up a video recording device somewhere?
No.
No? Good. Yeah, I don't know. Is he just one of those creepy fucking kids who you just look at him and you're like, that dude's a creep. So.
All right. Well, it says my brother is 15, my sister is 17, and I'm 23.
Okay.
He was in his bedroom playing on his phone, minding his own business. He got up to take out the trash and came back to lay down in his bed.
Oh, good.
He was laying down. He noticed their dog walking out of his room. He ignored it. Later on, he noticed his sister's clothes were missing. She went looking for it and found it in my brother's room. The problem was that it was wet and slimy. She immediately told our parents, and they thought the worst. My parents and my brother argued about it. Rude things were said. Apparently, Mum said, I knew you were weird, but not this weird. My dad said he raised a predator. In the end, my parents asked me to pick him up and let him stay with me for a couple of days. When I picked him up, he didn't say anything and just sat in silence. He spent his entire time in the room he was staying in. He only came out for dinner. He skipped breakfast and lunch. Mm-hmm. His eyes were always red. When he came out, so I assume he was crying. Finally, at the end of the week, his parents called me and said they wanted to talk to him, so they came over. Before they came over, I tried to talk to him, but he ignored me. When the parents came, they apologized to him. Over the week, they noticed more of the sister's clothes in his room until one day my dad caught the dog with my sister's clothes. My brother just said okay and went home. I tried to ask my parents if he could stay longer, but they said that that wouldn't be necessary. Later on, I got a call asking me what did he do over my house because he's just been in his room all day at their house. So essentially, the parents falsely accused him of jacking off into his sister's clothes.
I mean, yeah. that's one way of putting it. But also, who's to say he didn't? And then the dog just, he trained the dog to also do the same thing, and got away with it scot-free. Also, why is the sister leaving her clothes lying around for the dog to take them? Feels like, or the younger brother to take them. I feel like she should have some control here. How fucked up do you have to be, though, for your parents to be like, oh, you know what he's after doing? He's after jacking off on the clothes.
No, but I mean, he's been justified that it actually wasn't.
Why didn't he just say that? Why didn't he say, I think it might be the dog?
He did, though.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
this is where at the start is when I started reading this, I'm thinking, oh, okay, well, he's being caught. But then it took a massive turn when they're like, oh, no, while he was there, it happened again. And it was the dog.
Oh, yeah, I get that. But like, the kid should have stood up for him. It sounds like he just accepted them saying.
No, he said, and it says that they were arguing and everything.
Oh, okay. Well, the parents are fucking idiots then.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the parents need to own up for that. One day, have fucked their son up for life. He's never going to get over that.
Yeah. How do you even get over being falsely accused of that?
Yeah. Be all right if it was your stepsister, because, that's what society teaches us to do with stepsisters. But, yeah, your actual sister, no, that would be terrible. So.
Yeah, it's well, yeah, so what can you do to make a flight more awkward?
I don't know, but there's some plans afoot for flights late next year, so that might go.
Other than hand the person next to you a pros and cons list of sitting next to me.
That's, focus on the pros. It's all good. I did see a video or an article recently where some dude broke up with his girlfriend on the flight. That would be pretty awkward.
Always a good move.
Yeah. So, yeah, don't wait till you get where you're going. Do it on the plane.
Do it at the start of the flight too, because you want.
Yeah, just before takeoff, where she can't get out of the seat.
Yeah. As the plane's taken off, so it's too late to. Well, I think you should try this. A guy on a flight, a Singaporean man on a flight to Vietnam, got his hand stuck in a cup holder for 10 minutes.
10 minutes, that's nothing.
Well, he tried to put his hand in the cup holder and got it through.
Okay.
But then he couldn't get back out.
Mm-hmm. Rookie mistake. So, yep. I mean, why would you do that? What, you're just sitting there like, I'm super bored. I think I'll just stick my hand through this cup holder.
Quite literally, yes.
All right. Well, I don't think I've ever been that bored in my life. So I'm not sure where his inspiration came from, but yeah, that'd be quite awkward, I suppose.
Well, I think you should try it anyway.
I don't know. Again, pros and cons list on the next flight would be, well, I once got my hand stuck in a cup holder for 10 minutes.
You should do a pros and cons of not serving me multiple Guinnesses whenever I ask.
Yes.
Pros, I will be quiet and friendly. Cons. Expect a weird smell.
Expect shenanigans also, along with, Guinness gas. There you go.
Well, were you recently in Iceland?
Not recently, no. So, wasn't me.
Well, there's been a curious case of human feces found in an umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
A mysterious incident took place when an Eskidjefurr resident, nailed that pronunciation, discovered excrement in their car. According to the man who reported the incident, the perpetrator had defecated into an umbrella, left it in the car, and then fled the scene.
The perfect crime.
It seems like it because they haven't been able to find them.
I mean, they literally have a shit ton of DNA evidence, so they should be able to find the person. Yeah, there you go. I think by publicizing this, they've just given people the perfect revenge on anyone who pisses them off. Just take a dump in an umbrella, leave it in their car. They'll never know who it is.
That's going to make the cons list. Cons. Your car will.
Bros, I'm really good at revenge. Cons, your car's going to stink.
Well, what's the best excuse for cheating?
Like in a relationship or in a
relationship?
Okay. I mean, I don't really think there is an excuse for it. So like a good excuse, but yeah, let's find out what the answer is. I'm hoping it's something, like it was just to the end of the relationship anyway. I don't know.
Well, this is a list of what were the best excuses. So,
okay,
it was an accident.
That's a good one.
He didn't mean to do it.
Yeah,
and it was just an accident.
Mm-hmm. That can happen. You can just be walking down the street and accidentally have an affair with someone. So, yeah.
Yep. The next example was caught her in the act. Her lover jumped off from the bed, grabbed his clothes, and ran out the door. Just before he exited, he yelled, "Oh, F." I found out later that he was on the verge of finishing. When I entered, and it popped when he was at the door. Yeah, several big streaks of his juice all over the sliding glass. When she composed herself, I asked her how long she'd been cheating. "Oh, I'm not cheating," she looked serious. "What do you call it? Revenge." "For what?" "For all those women you cheat with when you travel." This was a shocker. I've been on and off the road for years, but never cheated on her. She just assumed I was getting some on the side and wanted to her share. Caught very, very explicit text messages with various people and traces of conversations with explicit names spanning over a few months. Mm-hmm. Some earlier evidence had been deleted, so it might only be the tip of the iceberg. Some of them they met, some of them they didn't. The excuse was, I didn't know it was wrong, so I didn't care about it, but I will stop doing it now. To which was later added, we didn't do anything. I talk big, but I don't do much.
Okay. Don't do much doesn't mean don't do anything. So
yeah, just a little bit of
yourself up there, buddy.
Pros and cons list. I won't do much.
Yeah. Just like these three things. Everything else, no, not doing it. So
yeah. Now you've been asking what life is like in a Singapore prison because you're expecting to go any day.
I mean, it's not top of my curiosities, but yeah. Let's find out.
Prison life in Singapore is not what you expect from other countries.
Okay.
I'm an ex-inmate served 1 year sentence for drug offenses. It's boring. You only get a mat to sleep, 3 sets of plain white shirt and shorts, a small towel, a roll of toilet paper, 2 blankets, a plastic mug, a spoon, a small tub to contain water, a bar of soap with its container, a short blue toothbrush with gel toothpaste, a small pen, and a container to fit everything in. I don't know why you need the pen if there is nothing to write on in that list.
Toilet paper. So
yeah, but you only get one rolls, so it doesn't say like how much. If you're in for 6 months, do you get one?
That's why you can use the pen to write on the toilet paper to request more amenities for your jail cell. I mean, I'm sure you can't, but
yeah. Each cell fits up to 8 people. The cells are just white walls with a great type window and a squat toilet with a shower head fixed on the wall in front of it.
Beautiful.
No beds, TVs, or any basic luxury. You sleep on the floor on a mat. Pillows are self-made by stuffing a blanket in a shirt and wrapping it up nicely. Muster checks at 7 a.m., 12 p.m., and 6 p.m. Lights start to turn on every day at 5 a.m. and switched off after every muster check is complete. Meals, except for breakfast, are served in warmer plates. Color of plates depends on your diet needs.
Okay.
Green plates are your normal diet. Breakfast consists of 2 sandwiches, butter/jam, and a hot drink filled in your mug. This sounds like heaven. Lunch consists of vegetarian food, rice, tofu, bean sprouts. Dinner is considered the heaviest meal. Rice, fish cake, chicken, etc. Fruits are included in every meal. Oh, God. Water is taken from the shower head to drink, but water is shut off late in the afternoon and after 12 a.m. That is...
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're doing prison, you're doing hard time. Very much so.
Yeah, like no way do I want to go to Singapore prison.
No, I'm pretty sure we'll try and avoid that. But
we are there for a day, so
who knows what can happen. But yeah, I mean those sandwiches for breakfast sound delightful. And a warm drink. It's not coffee, it's not tea, it's just a warm drink or a hot
I wonder
drink.
if you can Uber Eats food in.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Well, what could go wrong when you mow the lawn?
I mean, I don't know. You run over a ant farm or an ant hill or something and get attacked by the killer ants.
Well, a woman riding a lawnmower is struck and killed by the wing of an airplane in Oklahoma.
Wait, what?
She died on Friday. The pilot of the single-engine aircraft told investigators he saw her touching down on the runway about 2:30 p.m. and tried to pull up and fly over her, but she was hit by a wing. We're investigating whether any charges could be filed against the pilot, the police said. Did the pilot do anything wrong, or was this just unavoidable? So she must have been mowing near the runway.
Yeah, it seems weird. How did this happen? What's going on? Did she not see the plane coming in? I know it's a small plane, but
well, I mean, if you're riding along, mowing the lawn next to the runway,
yeah. But that's it. Like if you're beside a runway, you might check planes coming. I'm sure you'd have some kind of
you just you walk along the runway and hope for the best. What's that sound? Why does it sound like there's a plane coming?
I feel like there's equal amounts of blame here. The pilot should have been like, oh wait, there's a lady mowing the lawn. I should not land there just yet. I should wait my time. But no, he didn't. So.
Well, yeah. You mentioned ants, and
I did.
Ironically, the next story is about ants. So, How do you fix an ant war?
How do you fix an ant war?
Yeah.
I have no idea what that means at all.
What if I told you that scientists are using a computer game, Age of Empires, to simulate ant warfare?
I would say I don't think scientists should receive the same amount of funding that they used to get. I think they're just playing video games now.
Researchers simulated warfare between native and invasive ants using Age of Empires. It's hoped the research will help make native ants more competitive against invasive species. Hundreds of millions of dollars are spent on invasive ant eradication in Australia.
Okay.
So, yeah, the government is spending hundreds of millions to fight ant wars by playing video games.
How do we, like we've talked about this before, how do we get these government contracts? We need to like just be like, look, how much are you spending on ant wars? 300 million? We can do it for 50 million.
I can play Grand Theft Auto for like $10 million a year.
That will help the ants somehow. And we'll do an intensive study afterwards. Then afterwards, our study will be like, it didn't work. So I don't know what to do. Yeah.
Well, what would be the best job in the world?
I mean, there's a lot of discussion could be had on this, but it's got something to do with beer taster with in a bikini factory or something like that, or bikini beer tasting man. I don't know, something to do with hot women and beer.
Well, this is not too far off that. There's a guy, Glenn, who gets paid to drink 100 cups of coffee a day. Wow. Working as a quality assurance manager at the cafe factory. He's known as the chief coffee taster. The factory produces 35 tons of coffee a day, the equivalent to 20 million cups of daily coffee.
Nice.
Then he says, on a daily basis, a lot of what I do is taste coffee. I would taste around 100 cups of coffee a day, along with the rest of the quality assurance team. Mm-hmm. When we are tasting, it is very important to make sure that you haven't eaten anything or drunk anything other than water. No smoking for at least half an hour before a tasting panel, because it will affect your sensory bias.
Sure.
I feel like we should go around telling people that you got fired for smoking 27 minutes before a coffee tasting panel. And therefore you're very mad at Starbucks, your former employer.
Starbucks said I'm not allowed to smoke before tasting panel. They did not say I couldn't do what I got fired for. So yeah, which is.
They say eating pussy, but I don't take that literally. But apparently Starbucks does. Yeah. Apparently you can't wake up, eat your wife's pussy before going to work as a Starbucks taste tester. I should be allowed to do what Sorry?
I find quite discriminatory.
Yeah, I should be able to do that. I should be able to make sweet, sweet love to my former wife 10 minutes before work.
Yeah.
What I do in the car park at work before my shift starts.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, apparently Starbucks. At the same time, when you're sitting down tasting, it's important not to make facial expressions or make any noise, because that might influence the next person tasting.
Yep. It's valid.
Coffee tasters use 2 spoons when tasting and have a reference cup to test against. The coffee is tasted multiple times throughout the packaging process to make sure we have the right cup of coffee.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, they take the coffee tasting to an extreme.
I mean, when I was in school and you'd go visit the career counselor, they never said tasting coffee was a fucking job you could apply for. It was not on the menu. It was like, do you want to join the army? Do you want to, be a teacher? It's like, no, I want to fucking drink coffee and watch Netflix. It's what I want to do.
And smoke 31 minutes before work.
Yeah. There's just a lot of jobs that they did not tell us about that are exciting and fun. But there you go.
This means that there would be literally someone who's a Guinness tester.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've heard of them. So.
No, but like people, it's their actual job, not.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Although it would be fun to like just start a website like guinnestaster.com and then just be like, I go around to every bar and taste the Guinness and write my own reviews.
Dude, there's a genre of YouTube channels and that's what they do. And they go around and they get they just like review every pub's pint of Guinness.
Really?
And they get sponsors and they get lots, get like 40, 50,000 subscribers. There was one called the Guinness Guru and he was doing it. I think he visited every town in Ireland and then he went to the States, he went to the UK, but he changed his channel name then because he was like, I don't just want to do Guinness anymore. Because I think he was running out of places to go and have Guinness. But yeah, there's just like Guinness review channels, basically.
Wow.
And, yeah, and I'm disappointed I didn't come up with that idea. So there you go. Well,
that guy seems to have stopped his Guinness tasting. So
yeah, there's 4 or 5 big-ish channels. It's like over 20,000 subscribers that do it as well. It's like, well, there we go. We could have. There was a point where bars in Ireland, if they saw him coming in, were like, this can improve our business like massively. So make sure he gets a really good point. Like he was feared in some places because his review of their Guinness could make or break their sales.
Wow. So, I feel like we should go to places and tell them that's what we do. And then use the fake live streaming thing to say that, yeah. No pressure, but we are judging, and all 100,000 viewers watching right now will be judging your Guinness pour.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially saying it to like some random pub in Thailand that doesn't even understand that.
It's going with like a case full of awards, but giving out awards for the best Guinness pour. Let's see how you get on, and then just walk away like that was.
No pressure at all.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, just say you work for Guinness.
You could do that.
Yeah, well, now Russian hackers have finally gone too far for you. What do you think they've hacked? It's going to get you very upset.
Is this aside from hacking the casinos in Las Vegas?
Yeah. This is something that's deeply personal to you.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Like, could be a lot of things. So I presume it's something that I'm not going to want to tell the whole podcast community, but there you go.
Well, they've hit you where it hurts. Pro-Russia hackers claimed responsibility for a cyber attack that crashed the British royal family's website.
No. Just no. I support all of that. That's good. I like it. Yeah, go for it. Crash all their fucking sites.
Yeah, so royal.uk is taken down. Went down for over an hour due to a denial of service attack. So, yeah. Russia's really hitting you where it hurts.
They say Russian, but I guarantee they've at least one Irish person working with them. Guaranteed. And that person is having a statue built for them in Galway. So there you go.
Well, what about other royalty?
Other countries' royalties?
Yeah.
They're
like
fine.
The Queen of Canada.
Yeah, not going for that one, pal. It's the same queen or king or whatever.
Well, no, that's where you're wrong. There is a different Queen of Canada.
Okay.
An extremist cult leader and her followers have set up camp in a small Saskatchewan village 83 kilometers northwest of Maple Creek near the Alberta border.
Mm-hmm.
As if that means anything to anyone.
Yeah,
but the group, exactly where it is. The group is called for public execution of elected officials and other members in and around the community.
Okay.
A woman who's declared herself the Queen of Canada, among other titles, including the National Indigenous Leader.
Okay.
She's amassed thousands of followers by pushing conspiracy theories and what she decrees through social media. Her followers, who call themselves the Kingdom of Canada, have been traveling around the country for some time. The cult then made its way to a village. Has been staying there for nearly a month now. And then the mayor says the village people don't feel safe with them there.
Okay. And
it's been escalating and people are getting more and more tired of this. So yeah, the people who are inside the school compound, they're all very agitated. But basically, yeah, this woman's just decided that she's the Queen of Canada. And
okay, sounds good. Yeah, I mean, why not just declare yourself a monarch? Nothing wrong with that.
I feel like you should go around telling people you're the Queen of Ireland.
I don't think that. So, yeah, that's not high on my pros and cons list. So
I don't know. I feel like you can get away with it in certain countries, is telling them that I'm officially known as the Queen of Ireland.
If they don't already know my title, then I will just be offended. So it's fine.
Yeah, the two are linked. They don't already know you're the Queen of Ireland. Well, that's not good enough.
There you go.
Well, what can't you bring to an airport?
Lots of things. Weapons, liquids, just all the stuff.
What about necklaces?
Again, it would depend on the type of necklace. So
what type of necklace could you not bring in?
I don't know, like one that has liquids or cocaine in it or something.
What about one? A woman was found with giraffe poop that she planned to make into a necklace.
Just like, I'm sorry, that's going down on her cons list. It's like, what the fuck? Okay, so she's taken giraffe poo she wanted to make a necklace out of. Yeah, no, I don't think you can do that. Probably got some issues there.
I don't know. I think the American border force are just overstepping the line here.
I don't know. I don't want to be on a plane with someone with a bag of or giraffe poo. So I think it could cause its own issues. I
don't know. I feel like you should be allowed to bring animal droppings across.
This is why you got banned from the airport that time. Now it's all making sense. So.
Yeah. Well, A crocodile sex orgy occurred. What do you think triggered it?
I mean, you know, the sex lives of crocodiles are not really like, it's not my number one subject, so I'm not quite sure.
I thought you were going to write a thesis on it.
I was, but I changed my major. So
pros
I'm
and
not
cons list.
sure what it could be. I don't know.
My major is pros and cons list of having sex with me.
No, I don't know. I'm not sure what could cause a crocodile orgy to take place. I presume some romantic music and some aphrodisiac foods.
Well, a crocodile sex bonanza was triggered by low-flying helicopters in Australia.
Okay.
So when a helicopter got more than a bargain for when it swooped down low to take pictures of some captive crocodiles, as it accidentally triggered a giant orgy.
All right.
So according to this article, it appears to mimic one of the natural cues that these animals use to know when it's time to get it on.
Okay.
So if you want to trigger a crocodile orgy, just fly a helicopter low and...
Yeah, let's be honest. Who hasn't considered that in the past? Like, what am I doing today? I think I'm triggering a crocodile orgy. Yeah, sounds fun.
Well, you know, standard holiday activities to...
Yeah, you know, fun for all the family, especially grandma. So
the article says crocodiles are highly vocal and use sounds to signify this is my turf. Would anyone like a shag? And I am baby.
All right, all of those three things can happen at the same time. So it's all good.
One possible explanation is that the sound of the helicopter is getting confused for the sounds bulls make when they want to make getting everyone riled up and in the mood. So yeah, it's turns out that low-flying helicopters are Viagra for crocodiles.
What can we make happen with a low-flying DJI drone? So just like some heavy petting. What happens? I don't know.
Yeah.
Just like some crocodile strippers appear, trying to get things going. Yeah, seems like a very interesting fact they've learned there about helicopters and crocodiles.
Yeah. Well, Palm Springs residents are upset about a proposed AIDS memorial. Do you want to guess why?
Because they're all named on the memorial. Because, you know, it's going to happen.
No, they've the city has agreed to revise a proposed AIDS memorial sculpture after locals complained that the original design looked like an anus.
I mean, you know, it's just your opinion, residents of that town. Yeah, I suppose if you have, like, if you live somewhere, you don't want one of the memorials in the town to be anus shaped,
especially when it's for AIDS.
Yeah, I guess so. You know, but you got to stay on point sometimes. So there you go.
Yeah. Hopefully they replace it with a giant rocket ship.
So basically, they've redesigned it to look like two penises having a sword fight. Nice. I like
it. Why should you not street race? Oh, sorry. Who should you not street race?
Who should you not street race? I don't know. Anybody with a faster car than you? the police. Yeah, those would be my two choices.
Yeah, well, what about an ambulance?
I mean, yeah, probably not. Probably shouldn't street race an ambulance.
Yeah, a man whose alleged reckless driving included racing an ambulance while it was on a call was charged for reckless driving. Police say that the person they were called for a reckless driver just before 2 a.m. as he was traveling where he was, and the reporting party inside an ambulance stated that he was all over the road as he tried to drag race their vehicle while it was on a call with lights activated.
Maybe he was just trying to keep up because he knew the person that they were racing to help. I don't know.
It could be, yeah. They should, be more lenient to people that...
Maybe he was also just practicing so he could become an ambulance driver and wanted to get to know how they go about it. There's a lot of variables here. I think there's definitely excuses you could come up with.
Yeah. Well, an Ontario woman has no idea why your delivery got dropped off at her house.
It's just a simple address mistake, okay? She should have just returned it to the delivery people. So
tell us what you ordered again.
Nope.
A woman from Northern Ontario said she had no idea why a box was delivered to her home containing more than 1,000 condoms.
That delivery. Oh, yeah.
She said that her and her husband did get an email from Amazon that said that contraceptives were on the way, but they assumed it was a scam and ignored it. At the time that the package arrived, her husband was in hospital recovering from an illness. They were both baffled as to why they would have received the delivery.
It's just so weird. Amazon informs them of the order. Money was taken out of their bank account by Amazon.
Well, that is the next thing. She was even more concerned when her credit card had been charged $670 for the Amazon order.
I have no idea why Amazon sent me this thing I ordered. What the hell?
Well, they even say that because they were personal items, they could not be returned, and you should have to pay for the birth control.
Yeah, you can't return condoms. That's just just in case, you could have bought them all to puncture them or something. So you got to keep them, make the best of the times that you have. But I don't believe the whole. It sounds very much like they ordered them when they were high or drunk or something, and then forgot.
Or the husband is up to some other stuff and then went to hospital and then couldn't hide his delivery because he was in hospital.
No, baby, I didn't order 1,000 condoms. Why would I do that? We don't even use them anymore. So
yeah,
no,
we don't get it on anymore ever since I started going on holidays every week to Thailand.
Say on a side note, I'm going off to Thailand and I'll take them with me. It's fine.
I'll hand them out to the poor people.
Yeah, that's the excuse. That's the reason. And
look, when you need two per session because both participants need it, because you may or may not be at a ladyboy bar.
You're just not sure, It's all good. It's all good. But
there's only 500 sessions, so
it's like a week and a half's worth of condoms on that holiday. Yeah, it seems a little bit suspicious that there's a charge for buying those items. Emails from Amazon saying that they're on the way, and then they arrive where they're supposed to.
Well, to be fair, that after they contacted them, Amazon has looked into it and refunded them, but nevertheless.
seems suspicious. I'm just
poor guy with his Thailand holiday trips. That yeah.
It is suspicious. Let's just all agree it's very suspicious. And there we go.
Of course, I don't use them with you. Well, finally, what is acceptable to do when a masked intruder breaks into your home?
I mean, I don't know if I should. I'm just going to say, beat the crap out of them and leave them for the police to take care of if they find them. Okay,
but what if you go maybe further than that?
Is this a video that on a certain hub website? Because I've seen a couple of those.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it.
Did somebody get something and placed in their rear end? Is that what happened?
Well, Klay Holland was jailed for being a masked intruder in the home.
Kay being a lady and the masked intruder being a...
Sorry, it said Kay at the... Sorry, no, it's Klay.
Okay. Oh, Klay. Okay.
And it does say a man, so...
Okay.
But he's getting 4 years in prison.
Well, listen, that's if that doesn't deter people from breaking into houses, I don't know what will, or unless that's what they're hoping will happen. So yeah.
No, but he's getting 4 years for going for the guy who broke into his house. And
yeah.
Well,
yeah. I mean, you still can't sexually violate somebody. You can beat them up, but you can't.
I think that's what the judge said. Sir, next time just beat the crap out of him.
Beat the shit out of him. Just like you can beat him with your erection, but you can't place it inside him. That is not right.
So the victim broke into a unit armed with a knife and wearing a mask. He'd asked for money and drugs and was allegedly linked to others who had gone to the home to stand over a resident. That's a bit weird that... But he was high on meth and was overpowered by the perpetrator who was a guest at the home. That's an even weirder thing. It's not even your home.
Just staying over at your mate's house. You're like, someone broke in. Don't worry. I got it.
I just got an Amazon delivery that's going to work perfect for this.
What are you doing, Tim? Nothing. It's fine. You just go back to bed. Little head away. Yeah.
So the guy was beaten with a baseball bat and incapacitated on the floor, when he then decided to do it. So now, yeah, imagine you're in that scene, right? Like, let's just say that I'm at home, you're visiting, a guy breaks in, we beat the guy up with a baseball bat, and then you see the guy on the floor and you're like, perfect, I'm now going to take advantage of him. Like, how weird is that for me?
You know, I think you should always support your friends. And just like, you know, what do? Do you be like, well, I appreciate his help for preventing me from getting robbed. He took it a step too far. There might have been an issue with your they're quite concerned now if I get in an argument with you. So
yeah, wow. You know, ever since that break-in, I've never looked at Dave the same way again.
The next morning, I got to tell you, man, that was the best sleepover ever.
Oh, that's great for you.
Then the police come, they arrest the guy and everything, and he's like, wait, I think something happened. And you're like, do I tell my friend? Like, tell them what he did. I don't know. It's yeah.
Well, that seems to be where this gets even weirder. So his body was found at the scene under a pile of blankets a day later by police, who arrived at the property on an unrelated matter.
Okay. What else could there be? But okay.
Yeah. So guy broke in. These people beat him up with a baseball bat and then took advantage of him. And then the police just happened to come visit separate to all of that.
Just came by just to buy some drugs and find all this that's gone on the night before.
His body was found. Then he was hog-tied. His mouth was duct taped, and his pants were pulled down to his upper thighs.
It's a bit of an indication something went on.
Yeah, well, that's probably a mistake. Like, if you're gonna do this,
I don't think we should give advice on this.
Well, you were telling me before we started about advice on how to handle these situations. To pull the pants up afterwards, if from your experience.
Use common sense, don't leave incriminating evidence lying around like a body of somebody who you've just done that to in a state of undress. There you go.
At least give the guy some dignity. When he wakes up from his map, hog-tied and
that guy, do you know the damage you've done? That guy's never going to be able to break into a house successfully again. He's going to have nightmares about breaking into houses. It's like his whole career is gone. So,
well, that is actually the next thing. It says that the after the jury convicted him, he was found not guilty of manslaughter. But the judge described him of offending as premeditated and particularly humiliating. He said it was callous, degrading, and a humiliating act of retribution. Okay, his mental impairment, though, his time in prison during the pandemic, and separation from his 3 young children were all taken into consideration for sentencing.
Yeah, they would be. Not great.
Oh, where's your dad? Well,
so he was just having a sleepover at his friend's house, and I think there was more going on here than we know. Yeah. All right. He's a guest at the house. Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Well, the weirder thing is, right, if he has 3 kids, that means that he's at least had sex with women 3 times. So, meaning that he's not necessarily even into that, which means it's an even weirder thing. Like, it's one thing if you're gay and that's your thing, and it's like, well, we've just beaten this guy up, but he is sexy, so I've got to take my chance, right?
But he's sexy.
But seriously, right? Like, if you're attracted, imagine like some hot model breaks into your house and then you and your friend have tied them up afterwards, and then you're like, okay, well, now they're passed out on meth.
This opportunity is just too good to pass up.
Yeah. As opposed to, I'm not even into that. This is not even a person I'm attracted to. Like, that's even crazier.
Maybe just in the heat of the moment, he was like, well, this is not my normal thing. But right now, I'm extremely turned on. So, yeah. It's nice and weird. There we go.
Normally, I'm into cock and ball torture from Brazilian women, but, when life gives you lemons, sometimes you got to make lemonade.
And I think the lesson we can all learn here is...
And it's very important to always take lessons from these scenarios. But sorry, continue.
Of course. And the lesson is, if you're going to do that, just make sure to pull up the pants afterwards. Leave some dignity on the person. Then the police won't have an issue with it because you want to degrade it so badly. Well,
especially he's on drugs. Like, he's not going to know what happened. So...
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds
Plus, he's broken in. Like, he can't really go to the police himself. So, unless they come in for an unrelated matter and happen to see that happening.
I want to know what the unrelated matter was. I think that's the key moment here. Like, why?
I'm pretty sure that there would. Well, I don't know if you're legally allowed to say that they definitely were drug dealers, but hypothetically, it seems like the person broke in knowing that they were drug dealers, and that would be the reason why they went there. Doesn't seem like much of a stretch that they could have been.
Lots of lessons to learn. To break into drug dealers' houses, you might end up with more problems at the end of it. So, yeah, good call.
Yeah.
Well,
but I also, worse than all of that, like their full names are in all of this. So, like your name and photo in other articles are there. So it's yeah, not ideal that if people then start Googling you. Like, I don't know that it goes well for like your job applications.
But no one's going to break into your house. So, no one's going to fuck with you. So
might be good if you like apply for security or something. It's like, at least we don't have
anyone try some shit here, this is what I'll do to them. Brilliant.
Yeah. Wow. Very, very scary. Wait, but not guilty. See, another article mentions killing.
That sounds like the guy was dead when
But the other ones didn't mention that the guy was dead.
Like if they found him like bound and under some blankets and stuff. Sounds like maybe they went all night and killed him. So he died of.
Yeah. Okay. So another article does mention that he was dead. So that also. I mean, that is another thing. Like, don't just have a dead body in the house.
Yeah. Bring it to the crocodile orgy. So they can take care of it with their horniness. And then you get out of everything because you're like, the crocodiles must have fucked them. So.
The his lawyer didn't challenge that he'd hit the guy, but contested the extent and number of hits of the guy who died from being hit by a baseball bat. And then he took advantage of him.
Yeah, sounds awful. So, another good reason not to break into drug dealers' houses. So
he did also brag to others about what he did. So yeah.
No matter what crime you commit, you should keep it to yourself. Not be bragging.
Especially that.
That's one you should keep to yourself, especially when you have 3 young kids and some, people, family waiting for you and stuff. But there you go.
There is like an online memories thing of the guy who got killed. and ironically, it's private, but the cover photo for it is like an old Western photo, old timey photo of him holding a old timey gun. So that's
what you'd go with for sure. That's the one.
Like it. And I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that they look like they partake in Well, I mean, it does say in the thing that they're on meth, so it shows.
Brilliant.
Well, this is epic. So his lawyer said that suggested a distinction should be drawn between someone who sets out to commit that and one that was entirely responsive to the circumstances. So basically, as I described, it is like saying, oh, there's someone sexy in my house who I've knocked out.
The opportunity arose. So I took it. Yeah.
And then they argued that it was at the lower end of the spectrum, and that he had done everything that he was able to at the time to resolve the issue of the guy being in the home, including calling the police and asking him to leave. Wait. So they called the police too.
It's like, hello, is that the police? There's a man in my house who's broken into this house I'm staying at, and if you don't get here, I'm gonna fuck him.
I've already knocked him out with a baseball bat.
No, I'm just gonna fuck him. So, yeah, I think this is a very bizarre situation.
It was in the context of compromised reasoning and problem-solving skills that his client had lashed out. So, it's not that big of a deal to do that because, my problem-solving skills were compromised by having a sexy person on the floor passed out.
Yeah. Literally, there was nothing he could do. It just had to go that way. He couldn't control it. So.
I mean, that is almost basically what the lawyer was trying to say.
Can you tell me, Judge, that you would not have done the same thing if you're in his position? I think you would. Sexy man walks in and is like, just there, ready for you to go for.
Yeah, you've already knocked him out with a baseball bat. Like, how can you help from not just going for it?
Well,
you're just responding to the circumstances that are there.
And this is why humanity is so fucked up. But, there we go.
Yeah. Wow.
So if we learned anything today, it's don't fly your helicopter low near a load of crocodiles. That's my takeaway.
That's the only thing we learned.
Yeah, everything else. Yeah. So, all right. Well, good. Yeah. I think that one's going to stick with me for a while, to be honest. Anytime I hear someone breaking into the house, I'm going to be like, oh, this is the chance.
My problem-solving skills are compromised right now.
Oh, man. Yeah. So if you're out there, burglars, beware. We are now prepared. We have an Amazon order coming any day now.
That should be a sign. Instead of like there's one of those no trespassing, it's if you trespass, do expect to be ending up passed out on the floor and taken advantage of.
Yeah, exactly.
My problem-solving skills are impaired, so expect the.
So my solution to everything is you will get a pros and cons list.
I also have no standards, so everyone is sexy to me. Just keep that in mind.
So true. All right, man. Well, with those plans made for any time we get broken into, we'll leave it with you until next week.